Maybe you haven't thought a whole lot about a bird's nest before, but if you ever got the opportunity to be a bird, I guess you would learn very quickly that you have to do your business somewhere other than the nest. Unfortunately, a lot of people make a big mess in their nest every day, and the way they do it is by violating Scripture. And the scripture I have in mind specifically is the scripture that says, honor your father and mother, that your days may be long, or if we could put a little paraphrase to it, that your nest may be tidier, that you can have a better, longer, enjoyable life. Now, what a lot of people do wrong when it comes to their mother and father is that they follow modern psychology, and that modern psychology has given us the mindset that all of our faults and all of our failures stem back somewhere to the big bad mom and dad and the messes that they made of our lives, and that we've got to pick up the pieces from. And while it's true, some people's moms and dads gave them a real bad rap and a long way to go to try and get out of the hole that they were born into. It's not always mom and dad's fault for where you are in life. Here's what a lot of people do. They try to look at all the messes that they've made in their lives, and to make themselves feel better, they start cleaning up the mess, and they take dad, for example, and they use dad, and he becomes their broom, and they start sweeping up their mess with that. And they say, well, this I learned from my dad. I wouldn't have this attitude, I wouldn't have this temper, I wouldn't have this lust problem, I wouldn't have this drinking problem if it weren't for dad. And so they sweep their lives clean with dad, and then there's still messes remaining, and so then they point to those other flaws and they say, this is mom's fault. And so they decide to mop up their mess, to scrub their life clean, and they use mom to do it. And in the process, not only are they messing in their own nest, but they're not getting it clean either. It's becoming an ongoing problem. They're dishonoring God, for another thing, and hurting their own future. The book of Proverbs tells us that people who bring home the mess, who make the mess in their own nest, will inherit the wind. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of inheritance as far as money your parents gave you. Some people gripe about that. Well, they didn't leave me any money, they just left me bills, or whatever. It doesn't matter what they left you from your past. What you do with what happened in your past determines your future. And if you choose to destroy your family, tear down your folks, tear down your past, all these kind of things, it reflects poorly on your future, and it changes not just your attitude, not just your outlook, but the actual things that happen in your circumstances. When you dwell on what happened with mom and dad, you're living in the past. And if you keep bringing it up to your children, to your spouse, to your other family members, you're going to keep your past your present rather than moving on to your future. And not only that, but if you have children, you're going to spoil, or should I say soil, their future by continuing to dump on them and dropping on them all the stuff from the past. The humanistic perspective, the ungodly way of going about handling mom and dad, is a lot of people like to put their parents in their place. Now, maybe if their parents are still alive, they get in their face and tell them off, put them in their place like that. Or if their parents have passed away, they put them in their place by letting everybody know their faults and letting everybody know their problems. But the scripture gives us a challenge and gives us an opportunity with a promise attached to live life to its fullest by putting mom and dad in their proper place, the place of honor. And I want to challenge you to just take this risk for the next 30 days, for the next 1 month from today. Look at your calendar, whatever today is, make it a commitment in your heart that for the next 30 days, you're going to only honor your parents. You're not going to let any bad words escape out of your mouth, any complaints about them, any frustrations, any complaining. You're not going to do that, but you're going to put your parents in their place, the place of honor. And I would love for you to email me, just respond and put in a comment or email me, whatever, and let me know what happens in your life because of that, because I know something will happen. I would love to see you write that down and be able to share your testimony with somebody else.